welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a couple model kits and some Lego and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, or not plans to anyway, you can use other people's emotes, maybe a universal emote, or you can just say hi, or be a lurker. You got options. Queen Laura's here saying, evening, Pat. Good evening to you. Welcome, welcome. This is the intro portion of the stream where I say hello back to folks that say hi to me, or use my emotes, and I acknowledge that you've put the emotes in there. And we just kind of chill. We allow people to be fashionably late to the stream because not everyone can be here right on time. And so we allow for them to be there. I kind of get into the vibe. I get ready to get into model kit building, talking to humans out there more than just my parents who I live with and see on a daily basis. Lashbrook is here. Hey, Lashbrook. Lord Crashington is here saying, hey, Pat. Hey to you. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited for tonight. Look, last stream on Saturday, we got this Hello Kitty put together. We put together Hello Kitty, and then we have done some of Char Zaku 2. So tonight we're going to complete Char Zaku 2. Going to finish that up. Then we are going to build the parts that we need to put onto Kitty to make Hello Kitty over here a Zaku 2. Basically, we're going to take the head, put a new helmet on it, put it on Zaku 2 frame, and then, which is not something that's mentioned in the instructions, but we know we can do this. Hey, Harold's back. Welcome, Harold. Happy to have you here. We're going to put the Zaku 2 head onto Kitty's body and make a fake strong bad, basically. It's a fun little thing that we can just do. Queen says Zaku 2 best suit. I mean, I am very partial to Zaku's in general. I think Zaku 2 is fantastic. I'm certainly partial to any kind of Zaku out there. I think the Zaku Warrior is great. Shin Zaku is fantastic. Lovely colors on that one. A lot of cool Zakus out there. The Zaku FZ is a cool looking kit. Plenty of great Zakus out there. But yeah, we're going to build that. And then I think there will be time in the stream. I'm pretty sure there will be. We're going to start a Lego set. I got the instructions here. I'll just show the instructions instead of grabbing the box at the moment. This is the Fantasy Forest kit. Fantasy Forest Creatures kit, I should say. It is a 3-in-1, which means that there are 3 instruction manuals for it. And we use the same pieces for each of them, so you don't build all 3 at once. You build 1, disassemble, build 2, disassemble, build 3. We're going to start with the owl, which I believe is the biggest of the 3. I remember reading somewhere somebody just being like, I think that they just had a lot of purple and we're looking for something to use a lot of purple in. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. But we'll start with the owl because it does look cool. And then we'll build the other ones as well. But that's the next thing that we're building. That was bought off my wish list by Joey. Thank you, Joey. So yeah, we'll get into it in just a moment. I'm waiting for allowing people to be fashionably late to the stream. That's always a nice thing. And then we'll see if we can get going here. Because we got a few friends joining us tonight. What's up, everybody? Happy you're here. Tonight's agenda, while we see if anybody else wants to join us before we get into the building. Tonight, we will be talking about my thoughts on last night's AEW pay-per-view, Forbidden Door, the AEW versus X New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I'll have Forbidden Door thoughts. I have a few recommendations of things you can watch on YouTube that from Summer Games Done Quick, which has started yesterday. I haven't been watching live. I've just been watching the YouTube archives because they do put them up. It takes a while for them to go because it's a whole thing, and it's not the priority as much as the live stream. But I have watched a couple, and I have 3 recommendations from that. And then other things will come up in conversation. Second hour, we'll talk about manga. It's Manga Monday, so I have 2 manga and a manhwa recommendations. And then we'll talk about anime, including Missed It Monday, which is where I talk about a show that I haven't been watching this current season, but I'm going to go back and watch it. I'll be covering those on Monday. Um, uh, uh, and then Thursday, this coming Thursday, I have no new anime to watch. All of my Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday anime shows from this season are over. And the new season stuff, there is some new anime starting up, like maybe it's this week. Let me see. I'm going to go to the summer schedule here. Yeah. So theoretically, there will be something that I want to see because it's coming to Crunchyroll. So that's 4 days from now. So that won't be Thursday's stream. That'll be Saturday's stream. I can talk about Teppen Laughing Till You Cry, which is being picked up. So new anime will start this weekend. So Thursday, I haven't decided what I'm going to do. If I'm going to go back to some old stuff that I haven't watched yet from this season and come up with a clever name that's also similar to Missed It Monday. Because there is a couple things that I've been thinking about. So that might be on Thursday. I might also just do more manga reviews. I got to think of something that rhymes that I can put Thursday something or other. And I don't know yet. But I'll be thinking about it for the next couple of days. So I'm not sure. But then it looks like Saturday I will be able to talk about anime, at least one new show, because a couple things are starting. I should also say, right off the bat, here, as we start getting into it, I'm going to reply to my own tweet, and we're going to get into model kit building, work on the Zaku 2 SD, is that this Wednesday, Thursday, no, I don't know, Lord Crashington, when I talk about real stinkers. I don't think so, but I appreciate the effort. This Wednesday, I will be doing my bonus stream where we do things that are not model kit building. Oh, Kitty. Up there. Put Kitty right there. There's Kitty. And there is parts of our Zaku. We're going to work on the other leg here. We did one leg. Now it's time to work on the other leg. So yeah, what was saying? This Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, my normal time for my bonus stream. Get ready for it. It is a live recording of Pat Bear's Anime Club because it is time to talk about all of the anime from this season, wrapping up this season of anime, and then looking ahead towards the next season of anime. That is an important thing that we can do. So we'll look forward towards the new season, talk about all of the stuff that's coming out. We're starting to hear more and more now. On Wednesday, when I record it, there will probably still be a couple shows where it has not been announced what channel or what they're on. High Dive has been pretty good about making announcements ahead of time, but Crunchyroll sometimes does it. Like the last time I looked, which was yesterday, there was no update about the anime about the girls that want to become comedians. That's starting, I believe, on Saturday or Friday. That just got added. So that is really nice to see because that is a show that I wanted to watch, and now I know it's going to be on Crunchyroll. But some of that stuff, we are at the point now where even though anime is, and streaming anime is huge right now, there will still be stuff that doesn't get picked up because of the Funimation Crunchyroll merger. We're still going to end up with some things that just don't have a home. Because High Dive can only pick up so much stuff that Crunchyroll doesn't pick up. So it is going to be just, different. It's just going to be different now. There will just be some stuff that doesn't get picked up. Because, Netflix picks up a few things here and there as well, but still not as much. And they also seem to be investing a bit in new programming, like originals. There are their originals, and then we made a deal with Japan, and it seems to be the stuff that is a deal with Japan is the stuff that ends up being weekly, and that's why it gets the weekly release. And then the stuff that is they paid for to make seems to come out all at once, which would explain it because it is just there. They don't seem to be doing the weekly release in Japan, wait until it's all out in Japan, and then dump it all at once in the US. They seem to not be doing that right now, which is great because that sucks. That's the worst. Because then you end up with like people fan subbing because they really want to watch like Dora Hedoro. They really want to see Dora Hedoro, and they don't feel like waiting for Netflix to just eventually put it all out. I had a lot of trouble with this leg, the other side of this leg before, and I am running into similar problems with this leg. And I think the main reason is it's like, no, that goes like that. Like now I get to look at it and go like, okay, so what am I doing wrong here? Because that's wrong. Is it like this instead? Is that right? It's very fun. But I did run into a lot of problems with this leg on the other leg. So it is not surprising to me that I'm running into similar issues. Okay, so we'll put this here. This should go like this. This should be the leg that goes up. And that pops in there, but it doesn't pop in there. It pops in there. And then this slips in right, and we got it, finally. I don't know why that's so hard, but for whatever reason, that's like pulling teeth to get that done. Again, not sure why. But that has been the hardest part of this kit so far, so if we're done with that, I'm feeling good. Let's panel line this now while we have the chance. I am using black. For something like this pink, I might have chosen in another way. I think I talked about this before. I might have chosen on another kit to use a gray for this because it is very light colored. But I have chosen instead to do... Actually, yeah, well, that's fine. I have chosen instead to use the black marker because I do want it to just pop because I want this Zaku 2 to look very cartoonish because that fits with the kit to look very cartoonish. So we're going with that. We're doing it that way. And then I just need to do around here, there, and we'll see that later. And then we can just do these little rings around here. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Forbidden Door. AEW and New Japan had a pay-per-view last night. It felt like it went on forever, but was not as long as some have been. But it was full of great matches. The buy-in, their like hour-long advertisement for their own thing that is available like on YouTube and for free on some things, had 4 matches. So it didn't really have a lot of like filler goofing around, which I appreciated. That was nice to see. Lance Archer, I'm just going to give you the overview of the I'm not going to go match by match. Lance Archer almost took himself out because he went to do a diving cannonball over the ropes and landed on his goddamn head. And he shouldn't have done that move. But he almost completely took himself out. That's my only thought on that. Keith Lee is incredible. I want to see more from Keith Lee. It seems to be that Swerve in his glory is they're back on the same page apparently, and looks like they are going to enter into a program with Team Taz, which is fine. I actually would prefer either of those teams to be in the main picture for the tag belts because if neither of these teams is facing the Bucks, who's facing the Bucks? Because are we just waiting for like Jungle Boy to get back from being hurt? I guess we could do that. Or are we going to have I don't need to see this, FTR versus the Bucks? Which like I said, I just don't need to see that right now. We'll talk about FTR later. But I don't need another FTR Bucks match. They don't need a 4th set of titles, in my opinion. Let's see. All right. So, also, there was a multi-person match that featured Max Caster from the Acclaimed and um, uh, the Ass Boys. It's the Gun Club um, with Billy because he can't be Billy Gunn, so he's Billy, and his sons are Austin and Colton Gunn. That's just how they do. Anyway, they come out to the Acclaim's music because the Acclaim's music is good. Good evening, Dirty. But here's the thing. Danhausen shows up on the Titantron, or the screen. I shouldn't call it the Titantron. He shows up on the screen, and he's like, hey, I don't worry. I didn't know he was pulling a Cody. Yeah. Indeed, yes. The Gun Club refers to the two of them, not to their dad. So, anyway, Billy's there, and he's like, hey, don't worry, everybody. I made a song for the Ass Boys. So the Ass Boys, we're talking about, Mr. Ass was his name, the badass Billy Gunn. He was also known as Mr. Ass. So AEW refers to his sons negatively, often in a joking manner. They refer to his two sons, his two real life sons, as the Ass Boys. So Danhausen, Mr. Ass was my father, indeed. So Danhausen's like, hey, don't worry about it. I made your own custom song. So here it is. And it's just the Danhausen logo is up. And then a song is playing about the Ass Boys. And it sounds very similar to Billy Gunn's I'm an Ass Man song. It's not the same song, but it does sound very similar to it. And I didn't think of any of it at the time. But I should have put on my detective cap and been Detective Pat. Great Detective Pat, I should say. Because, of course, why didn't I think of this? That song was written by the people that did Danhausen's indie theme. Not his AEW theme, his indie theme, which was, of course, created by 2 Minutes to Late Night. And they made this one. So they did have, 2 Minutes to Late Night did have a song on AEW, and one would hope that Mr. Ass, the Ass Boys song, will make another appearance because it's a good tune, and it was a good goof. That was a good bit of business on their part. I didn't know until later. Did not know that they had also made a music video, which I have watched. But I'm saying during the pay-per-view, I did not know that there was a music video, and I did not know that it was created by them. I just didn't know that. I'm not super familiar with that crew, so I was a bit unfamiliar with that they had made a song. And it was nice. It was nice to hear it. And I think that was a good bit of business. Let's see. Okay, main event. Hey, I'm not speaking out of school when I say that it was funny watching them try to tweet a clip of their song of the PvP and it got DMCA'd. Yes, it did. It definitely did. Minoru Suzuki. Minoru Suzuki is Murder Grandpa. And, hey, that man's scary as shit. It's just terrifying as a wrestle man. I'm not saying anything new that hasn't been said before, but, y'all, that's a scary motherfucker right there. I'm glad he does not dislike me. He doesn't know who I am, and therefore cannot be mad at me. Eddie did a fucking suicide dive. Eddie did a dive. He did a through the ropes dive, and it was not pretty, but it was good. And then Suzuki teased like he was going to do one, and then didn't, and that's great. Because, as I'll say later, when you reach a certain age and experience, you don't have to jump off of fucking things anymore. You can just do other things and it's okay. Again, we'll talk about that momentarily. Um, uh, I am not super familiar with Shota Umino, except that this kid's got some good babyface fire, as I'm saying. Uh, Lord Crashington learned that Darby and Sting are in a group. Yes. When Sting showed up, it was for a couple reasons, mostly because he basically has adopted Darby as like a person that Sting thinks is cool. Sting has been hanging out a lot with Darby Allin. It is basically Sting's thing um, in AEW. Is just being Sting's dad. God, they made Shota look like $1 million in that match, right, Lashbrook? They really did. They really did make him seem like he is a huge deal, which was great. That was a way better opener than I was expecting of that match. Yeah, I was surprised to see it as the opener. Now, the right people won for storyline reasons, because if you're going to have an advantage in the Blood and Guts match, the heels should have the advantage, which means they have more control over who's in the match and the order of entries. That makes a lot of sense for them. That's very smart. Also, Eddie Kingston should just keep having to eat shit so that he eventually eats less shit, although one would imagine things are not going to go great in Blood and Guts for Eddie Kingston. We'll get more into that later. One just happens to imagine things are not going to be peachy keen for him, and it might be partially his own fault, perhaps. But yeah, made sense to have them win and also give Shota just a lot of flowers. Just made him look super good and super talented. Hey, Bad Gumpla just raided with a party of 16. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. We are technically working on model kits and technically working on Gunpla. Hello, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We're doing the Hello Kitty Char Zaku 2 combo pack. So we've built Kitty. There's Kitty. Kitty's been assembled. Now we're working on Char Zaku 2, the SD version. We're going to build that. Then we're going to take the special components that we have here to make a helmet for Kitty. And then we're going to put Hello Kitty's head on the Zaku 2's body and make a monstrosity. That's the plan for tonight. And then we'll build, if there's time in the stream, we'll build Lego. Like, that's just the next thing to build. But that is what we're doing. We're talking about, right now, we're talking wrestling. There's an SD involved, so it counts. Indeed. I mean, it's Plamo no matter what, but it is technically also, not technically, but it is certainly Gumpla. We're also talking wrestling because AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling had a pay-per-view called Forbidden Door. Yeah, Queen. That's coming up in a minute. We'll get to it. I'm going in order, and we only talked about like the first match of the card. Minoru Suzuki is still a scary grandpa, just a nightmare man. But great that he's still doing it. FTR. Sting is 63 years old. I'll just say it now. He didn't wrestle for a very long time, and he's back, and he's working in a limited capacity. So he hasn't wrestled in many years, and he came back to AEW, and he did a dive off of, like, the entrance, like above the entrance thing, and I would like Sting to stop doing that. There is a moment in that match where he is, like, going wild and being great, and then he forgets what he's supposed to do, and everyone can feel, oh shit, Sting forgot what he was supposed to do here. It's very obvious that Sting was supposed to do this spot in the center of the ring, and he went to the outside. And literally, you can watch one of the Young Bucks point into the ring to tell Sting to get back in the ring. And it's like, yikes. So, John, Ric Flair did retire and has gone, basically you have to retire to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, but then you can just unretire, I guess, and he has done that several times, but he is declaring that he is doing a special event that will be his final match. But yeah, Yes, he's old and also shouldn't do that. He didn't do the thing that teased he was going to do the entrance. Yeah, no. I built some Lego tonight, too. If you see the Speed Champions, kind of anywhere, buy it. Okay, that's great to know. I like the Speed Champions kits. I have built a few of those. Those have been fun. And those have been nice little builds. So I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, let's jump back. So FTR, I hope that Dax Harwood is okay, because part of that seemed definitely storyline reasons, and part of that did not seem storyline reasons. So I hope he is legitimately okay. 2. FTR now own belts for AAA, Ring of Honor, and New Japan, the IWGP. So that's a lot of titles. They have 3 tag belts. So I do hope that Dax is okay, because they gotta fucking defend those belts at places. That feels like too many goddamn belts. No, Queen. The WWE, your retirement plan is you can sign a Legends contract. Not everyone gets offered a Legends contract, but you can sign a Legends contract, which will, for appearances, for merch sales, a bunch of things like that, they look after you. But it is not like the same thing as a retirement plan, and they can obviously choose to end your Legends contract at any point. Or if you, for say, you wanted to make an appearance at another company because they want to honor your brother, you might run into some issues there. I'm not saying that's why Bret Hart didn't show up for the Owen Hart stuff, because it's now been said that it wasn't because of his contract that he couldn't, but that there are other reasons why he didn't. But it certainly didn't appear to be great. Yes, so it's a whole thing, because they're independent contractors, even though when you work for them, you can't work other places. Anyway, I hope that Dax Harwood is good. I don't think they should have all those belts. Hey, speaking of former WWE people, Pac won. The bastard himself, Pac, is the All-Atlantic Champion. A belt that is not needed in AEW. And one would hope that he is going to go other places. It sounds like the owner of that belt will tour other companies, kind of like the NWA, where they would appear in Japan and New Japan, or All Japan. There were various places where they would go to Mexico. So one would assume that is what we are going to see with our friend Pac, is that he will be making appearances other places. I thought for sure that I thought Miro could win, and it would make sense if he did, but I really thought that it was going to be Malachi Black, because Malachi Black has a stable, and it makes sense to have a stable winner, or the head of a stable, have a title, and they don't have any titles. So one would assume, I wouldn't assume that would make sense, but whatever. Anyway, it was still a good match. We talked about Sting being in his 60s, and it would be great if he just stopped putting so much pressure on his body and doing all that, but he probably won't. The match was fine. For a one night only return of the Bullet Club, there was very little fanfare about that, and it felt very like last minute. But there was still plenty to like about the match, so I'm not going to complain about it here. As I said, there was still good stuff about it. No, Lord Crashington, I think Sting is going to wear the makeup, because now Sting can wear a full bodysuit as long as it's black, and he can wear a trench coat, and he doesn't have to show any kind of aging on that, and makeup hides wrinkles. So I think that he will do the full face paint for a very long time. instead of the surfer gimmick. There were, yeah, I mean, like, I just want people to slow down, to stop working so hard, and to not feel like they have to be in that kind of shape. If you can hide it, you should hide it. Okay, so let's talk about a match that was great, that did not have any proper build, that I was happy was on the card because there were the only women really that you saw on the card. Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm. This was a fine. These people are both faces that they have a lot of respect for one another kind of match. Like, it was totally good, solid. I think it wasn't a barn burner, but they weren't given enough time for it to be a barn burner. I think Thunder Rosa stole the show her last pay-per-view outing, and this one was way too soon after that. But as always, Thunder Rosa's ring gear is immaculate. She steps up for every fucking big show and looks incredible. And then she puts on a good performance. I'm a big Thunder Rosa fan. And winning with a move that she learned from her mentor, Dustin Rhodes, rules. It's just cool that she used that move. Because that is just, she had to dig into the arsenal to win that match. And that is fun storytelling that I can get behind. So that was good. That was a good one. I thought that was, like I said, perfectly fine match. Hey, Orange Cassidy fucking rules. I know I'm the one that always says that, and some people don't know it, but I'm a broken record about that. But Orange Cassidy fucking can wrestle, and is great, and can tell a good story. And just the story of that match was how much he was pissing off his opponent. And it was very fun to watch him piss off Will Ospreay. He did not win, and I wasn't expecting him to. But that was great. I love that the ring post camera literally malfunctioned when Ospreay was sent into it. I think that is very funny. Let's see. Other things about this. Hey, what if Orange Cassidy won a fucking belt in AEW? I know that they want to keep it on Scorpio Sky, but what if they didn't? Give the TNT title to Orange Cassidy. He should have a belt in this company. Come on. Come on. I'm never going to stop singing his praises because he's just great. Also, we had an appearance from Shibata, who showed up, and it was very cool to see. And I love that Shibata is alive and moving around and doing cool stuff and looking fucking badass. And that is great, because that man has overcome quite a bit, it seems. So nice to see Shibata there. I am, you may have guessed, I am not of the opinion that some people had, that Orange Cassidy goofing around with him somehow makes Shibata seem less cool. No, that's what Orange Cassidy does. He is a somewhat comedic, but also serious character. And it is awesome when serious characters interact with goofy characters. That leads to comedy. So I am on board with that. I think it was perfectly acceptable to have that there. Let's see. Okay, so Zack Sabre Jr. originally rumored he had challenged Bryan Danielson, I should say. Indeed. Lord Crashton, yes, you do. Having the person who is in on the joke but supporting the joke is very important. So, someday we'll come up with a name for that type that isn't straight man, because it just is an outdated term that doesn't fit. I haven't found a good one myself, but there exists one, because it's not the setup man or setup person, but it's similar to that. Because the reactor is a pretty good one, but that also sounds like the name of a wrestler in late era WCW, the Reactor. But that is kind of their job. They are reacting to the scenario. But anyway, so Zack Sabre Jr. was supposed to fight somebody, and we didn't know who Zack Sabre Jr. was going to fight because Bryan Danielson is injured. But Bryan Danielson was like, "Hey, I'm picking my replacement, and also that replacement is going to join the Blackpool Combat Club. So don't worry about it." And Zack Sabre Jr. is like, "I should know who it is." Also, that means that in Blood and Guts on Wednesday, this person will do that. And of course, the internet was like, "It's Cesaro." There was a contingent of the internet that thought a cameraman who always wears a mask because of health reasons was Cesaro, and they were like, but it was like that would have been a weird long con, and no sort of proven not to be. But that people said that it would be Claudio. And then there was rumors where people were like, "What if it's Johnny Gargano? He's going to be in Chicago." He had an event, but then he, left, and he also was like, "Hey, I know there's going to be people who don't believe this, but it isn't me," which I appreciate him playing along that, being like, "No." People had thrown out a bunch of different names. Turns out it was Claudio. Yes, that was very funny. So it's Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. This match fucking ruled. Claudio needed to win this one, and he did. But Zack Sabre Jr. made him earn it. It wasn't like an easy win by any means. It was very fun to watch. They're very talented wrestlers. Yes, Claudio is now in the Blackpool Combat Club. He did win with a Ricola Bomb. It's a power bomb they called Ricola Bomb, which was his indie finisher. The neutralizer was something he started doing in WWE. Yeah, he's just a great fucking wrestler. He's just a competent wrestler that knows what he's doing in the ring and is freakishly strong and can tell a good story. He considers William picked by Regal for Regal's last WWE match. Like, okay, yeah. Makes perfect sense for him to be in there. Also works on the fact that storyline-wise, Eddie Kingston fucking hates him. Their run in Chikara was the most brutal shit in Chikara ever. PG company. Eddie Kingston cutting promos where he doesn't swear but is still menacing is great. But yeah, Claudio was a big heel, and Eddie saw through him, and then they had a bunch of matches, and Eddie did not win. Eddie lost in New York to Claudio, and then Claudio left for WWE. And I don't know, a lot of times it doesn't feel like Eddie Kingston is not breaking kayfabe to be like, I'm excited to work with this guy again. Eddie Kingston in February was like, he doesn't have the balls to come here. And then when he appeared on screen, Eddie retweeted himself saying, "Look who grew some balls." Eddie has played up that he hates Claudio for a long time. And again, I can't tell you if that's a work or a shoot, brother. But at the very least, it is a storytelling thing that he is keeping up. He is keeping up the premise that he fucking does not like him, which is great for wrestling. How will they coexist? The bit where he had Zack Sabre Jr. in a stalled suplex and walked up the stairs and dumped him in the ring was ridiculous. Yeah. Cesaro is a fucking great wrestler. How come I can't get this to work? What am I missing here? Where is this supposed to go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. I couldn't figure out why that wouldn't clip in, but I got it. Anyway, yes, incredible. Great addition to the Blackpool Combat Club. with Moxley busy with other stuff, once this storyline wraps up, I would imagine you will see Claudio tagging with Wheeler in ways to enhance Wheeler. Also because Claudio is a tag team specialist because he is great in anything you give him. So the idea of the two of them together in a tag team would just help both of them out a lot, especially as Claudio gets, he hasn't missed a step, but he still hasn't worked a heavy schedule in a while. So it would be interesting to see that. But I feel like that's the dynamic. Unless he immediately goes into a program with Eddie Kingston, who only likes Moxley. It seems like he has a lot of respect for, he loves Jon Moxley, has a respect for William Regal, and doesn't like Danielson, certainly doesn't, doesn't hate Wheeler, and then also has a lot of respect for Ruby, and a lot of love for Ruby. And that's nice. But that seems to be it. Of course, Santana Ortiz, he's got a lot of love for him. But that is very fun. I mean, even when he was, working with the Lucha Brothers, he only liked one of the two of them, which was so weird and great. It's like, you're my best friend. He wouldn't talk to the other one. It was fucking rad as hell. It's such a weird specific that I love. Fucking Eddie Kingston. All right, we got to build the waist and the head, but we can put the arms on this, I guess. We'll just put the arms on because we did do the arms. Both arms are done. Anyway, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Jay White versus Hangman Page versus Kazuchika Okada versus Adam Cole. This was not my favorite match on the card. I do believe that it went home a little early because it seems like Adam Cole was supposed to lose this match, to take the pin, but also maybe wasn't in great shape and was already kind of working partially hurt. But boy, it seemed like he did not do well by the end of that match, and was in a bad way by the end of that match. Indeed. Yeah, he might have a concussion on top of his other injuries that he was dealing with. He might also have a concussion. Anyway, I don't like Jay White as a person, but I don't mind. Jay White has go home heat with me. Like, I'm not interested in Jay White as a wrestler. I'm not like there to boo him. So that's what I should say. I'm not interested in seeing Jay White get his comeuppance. I'm not interested. So that's already going to be a detriment. Okada fucking rules, and it was great to see Okada, in this match. I have seen Okada wrestle live. I saw him. He had lost to I saw him drop the belt to AJ Styles. Or he dropped the belt to AJ Styles. I watched him not win it back, thus cementing the fact that AJ Styles had not signed with Ring of Honor, re-signed with Ring of Honor. He had signed with New Japan when AJ retained, because he had won the belt and then retained it, which was fucking wild. I've seen Okada live in person. He's fucking incredible. This was fun. Adam Page has a lot to prove, and I think this match honored the fact that he has a lot to prove to himself, since he has not had a rematch with Punk or anything, and this was a big match for him. He had challenged Okada, and then, he wasn't going to win the belt, right? It was going to be Jay White or Okada. It wasn't going to be anybody from AEW. Nobody was going to win that match because Moxley was always going to win theirs, and that's just like, look, these companies are not going to do that. That's just not happening. I could see Paige wrestling in a New Japan ring again, and maybe even as AEW champion showing up there. You can also get a vibe from, I haven't mentioned this before, you can get a vibe for all of the Japanese wrestlers that have not worked in the U.S., that they miss live crowds. They miss, Every single one of them, when people would cheer for them or sing along or reference their or call for their finishers or their signature moves, every single Japanese wrestler turned to that audience. And English wrestler that predominantly works in Japan. They were psyched to be in front of a live crowd, and that was cool to see. Also, shout out to anybody wearing a mask in the audience. Keep doing what you're doing. That was nice. There were plans for AEW talent in the G1, but injuries and stuff got in the way. Yeah. Yes, that seemed like that. Lance Archer is in the big boy block, it seems like, because they were talking that up a lot, but that seems to be one of the only people definitely doing that shit. And then I'm glad Hangman didn't take the pin. Cole should be the one to take that pin, especially with Jay White. I think that's smart. I think that was the right call. I think, it shouldn't be Hangman in this situation. It should be Adam Cole. It's kind of why he's there. Okay. Jon Moxley versus Tanahashi. I mean, look, I knew it was going to be Moxley going. We all knew it was going to be Moxley going into this. It wasn't going to be Tanahashi. It would be interesting if it was Tanahashi, but it was going to be Moxley. Moxley won. It was a good match, good singles match. Moxley versus Punk at some point down the road will be interesting. Look, there is a chance. There is always a chance. There is somewhat of a chance that it won't be Moxley, that Moxley will lose the belt before we get there. But it's going to fucking be Moxley versus Punk. And that'll be a good match when it happens. I don't love former WWE champions being AEW champions. When there have been only two AEW champions who haven't been huge in WWE, I'm always going to feel that way. I would just love the next champion to be a indie or homegrown talent, Yeah, I just didn't think it. Especially when Jay White retained. Look, if Hangman or Cole had won, then definitely Tanahashi's winning. Because you got to do 50-50 on that kind of stuff. But since that didn't happen, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling that. It felt like that was that was Mox's to win. It is weird that the interim AEW World Heavyweight Champion is wrestling in blood and guts, which feels like a personal match that has nothing to do with that title. Is that weird? Yes, it is. But by God, they're going to do blood and guts because they want to do blood and guts. They have found a way to do blood and guts, and they are doing fucking blood and guts. So there we go. It's happening. All right, so they want me to put sticker 1, our first sticker, finally. So we'll do sticker 1 here. I agree, Lashbrook, that Blood and Guts should not be this coming Wednesday. That's too soon. I 100% agree with you. But scheduling's tough. Okay, and then after the match, I should say, Moxley being busted open at the beginning fucking sucks. Or not beginning, into the match. Just being bloody for the whole match. I fucking, I'm saying this going into Blood and Guts. I'm an old man about this. I've been an old man about this since I was a young man about this. I just don't want to see the blood, and I just don't want to see rivers of blood pouring out of a man's head. I don't want to see your opponent's blonde hair dyed red with your blood. I just don't want to see it. After the match, everybody gets attacked. Some of Jericho's boys come out, and then Eddie is the first one out, but he doesn't even the scene. So then some of the Combat Club and Proud and Powerful come out. There's a numbers game. Of course, Claudio comes out, and Claudio cleans house, and then everyone is in the center of the ring standing tall, except for Eddie Kingston, who, as soon as Claudio came out, rolled out of the ring and just stared daggers into him. And the only time he didn't look at Claudio was when he was yelling at Mox. And you just see Moxley being like, come on, which is very funny because he fucking does not like Claudio. Real or not real, or both. I don't know. But storyline wise, they are not forgetting the indie world where he fucking hates him. And I appreciate that they have not forgotten that shit. Because that shit's good. And that's the pay-per-view. Blood and Guts is too soon. I will be watching the first hour of it before of the show, before I come in here. And then I will talk about anime. And then later I will go back and watch it after. Let's panel line this before we put the piece on there. But yeah, that's wrestling, folks. I thought it was surprisingly a killer show, except the last two matches. Yeah, the last two matches were a bit disappointing, but still good. I was not surprised it was a good show. It felt like a very good... Here's the thing. Did it feel like a huge AEW show? No. It felt like an incredibly good independent show with talent from other countries. It felt like Ring of Honor's New Japan like shows, like Supercard shows. That's what it felt like to me. And as someone who loves those matches, those kind of cards, it just felt like a really good international show. Kevin Kelly coming in there, Taz being on the whole time, JR only being there part of the time was great. Yeah, Kevin Kelly interacting with, like, busting up Excalibur. I thought was really fun. I like that. The ring announcer, the Ring of Honor announcer, whose name I can't remember, coming out for the tag match. I'm always fine with that. I don't love him as an announcer, but I'm fine with him being there for it. But yeah, I thought it was a strong show. People really, some people were really down on it leading up to it. I don't think the build was great, but it's hard for the build to be great. But yeah, overall, I was pleased. I think the buy-in did not need those 4 matches. We did not need so many people from the Wrestle Factory in the buy-in. We did not need QT Marshall at all. Also, the fact that QT has more wins than losses in AEW means I don't watch enough of Dark and Dark Elevation, I guess, because that man, I just feel like I only see him lose, and apparently he has a winning record. He has a lot of losses, but he has a lot of wins, and I was just like, oh, weird. Oh, I should do the underside of this. I didn't do the underside. The build wasn't great, and the card had to change so much. Yes, the card did have to change quite a bit. I mean, it was changing right up to the last minute, but still good. I did not like that all of the card, the card started with 3 multi-person matches, and I think that's unnecessary. They top-loaded because they did the trios match, the 3 tag team match, the 3 tag teams match, the 4-way match, and then the trios match, and then Thunder Rosa. An hour and a half into the pay-per-view is the first. Thunder Rosa Tony Storm is the first one-on-one, and then it's one-on-one, 3 one-on-ones in a row, and then a 4-way, and then a one-on-one. And I think it was built weird. The card was put together strangely, in my opinion. Let's finish the head, and then we'll take a pause for the cause, where I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll talk about some manga and some anime. In a moment, but we'll complete the head, then we'll panel line the head, and then we'll build the weapons, and then we'll put everything together. Gotta build our tomahawk and our bazooka and our gun and the missile launchers and all of the weapons. This Zaku 2, this SD Zaku 2 is just loaded with weapons, which is very silly in my opinion, but it is. So we'll get this all together, and then we'll panel line after. But let's at least complete the kit. Let's body complete this kit. Let's get the eyes in the middle here. And then, oops. Come on, line up. Line up. Why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? There we go. Oh, no, again. Well, the eye can move around, folks. The eye has it. And body complete. Now we just got to do weapons. We'll panel on the top of the head, and then we'll get ready to start building the rest of this. We might not get to Lego tonight. We might actually not get to Lego until Thursday. I don't know. Or maybe we'll at least start getting the pieces out. Anyway, here's what we have to do right now. We must do this. We're going to take a pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you about ways you can support the channel if you weren't so inclined. All of the things I'm about to tell you are optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to, you're welcome to do that. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber here, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Scythe, and of course the blue emote if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, the emote that's only for Tier 2 subscribers. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. Cash money. You got your credit card linked up here, or your Prime token, because you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch. You could use that token once a month for somebody, and I would love it if you used it for me. But yeah, we're currently at 45 subscribers. The goal, you can see the numbers there. The goal is to get to 50. We want to get to 50 up there. So if you want to become a subscriber, you can do that now, or you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. You could join the leaderboard. We got Dark Web Prosciutto and Francium and Aristofan gifting subs to the community, which rules. Also, bits and coins, always appreciate it. If that's something you'd like to do there, you can just gift a couple or give me some bits and coins. Those are also cool. Now, there are other ways to support the channel. And again, this is going to take like 5 minutes, and then we'll get back to model kit building. You can join my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier there. Maybe now's not the best time to join. Oh, hey, Looney Steven just used Prime and subscribing for 2 months. Thank you so much, Looney Steven. Let's hit the old applause here. So thank you very much. And we can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're a subscriber there, throw those emotes in. Thank you so much, Looney Steven, for that sub. And now we're at 46 out of 50. But yeah, I got that Patreon. Look, it's almost the end of the month. But one thing I will say is that this week I will be recording my monthly Q&A, which is exclusive only to people that support me on Patreon. And I'll put a call out for questions for that tomorrow. So maybe this is the best time to get involved. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Now, of course, subscribing to YouTube is free, and I would love it if you did that. But also, if you jump over on my over there on the YouTube, there's a membership, $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that I recorded for this week that everyone else will see on Wednesday, you can see it on Tuesday for just $2 a month. And also direct donations, because those are all monthly things, and you're like, no, I can't do the monthly thing. Well, what about a one-time? Everything I make through direct donations, which in this case is Coffee and PayPal, direct donations through YouTube, which also includes AdSense. So watching my videos and seeing ads helps me as well. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all that money goes into a fund. I buy model kits with that money. The kit I'm currently working on did not come that way. It came in from one of my various wish lists, which I'll mention here. The first is an Amazon wish list. The Lego set that we're building next is from this list. So it was purchased. I shot a video dedicated about the item as a thank you. And then also it jumped the queue. Now I have some Lego sets. I have some easy small model kits here. I have some more complicated model kits that are more expensive. Ooh, that dropped in price a little bit, so I'll switch that there on the list. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, and some equipment at the bottom. Some kits that are just like, why is this so pricey? I don't know. It is. Who would spend $50 on the Gundam Zabana? I don't know. Debanya. I don't know why anyone would buy that for that much money, but it's on there. And I guess I'll eventually have to probably put some more tools down there. because sometimes people like buying equipment. But that's that's my Amazon wish list. Again, it jumps to cute, becomes the next thing I build. I also have a wish list on Throne, and you can check that out. A few other things on there that I don't have on my Amazon wish list, including some gift cards to Throne. And also USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They send you an email with the gift card code. It's not a physical gift card. And then you DM me with that code. And that's how I got this Hello Kitty set. Is that someone who's chosen to remain anonymous bought a gift card, sent me a DM saying, hey, I saw that the Hello Kitty Zaku 2 was on sale. The Char Zaku 2 was on sale. You should get that. And I did. That had been on my Throne wish list. And I was like, well, I'll just do that there. So that's all the ways to support me that cost money. I have a Discord. You can join that. That's a free way to support me, is to jump on the old Discord. And then some video links. This Wednesday, I'm recording a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. My previous episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is still obviously up on my YouTube. I'll link that here. That's a video where I talk about the trope of the Unchosen One. You know, Ichigo from Bleach is the prime example of the chosen one. Every story beat leads you to believe this guy has a destiny and he's incredibly special and important. And then you have someone like Goku. He's the unchosen one. He is just a lowly soldier, in there, dropped, should not be the strongest Saiyan in the world, should not be the strongest person in the galaxy, but is certainly by no means supposed to be. So I explored that topic and some examples of that. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I read something on Wikipedia and then try to reiterate that in a video after I have looked at the page and try to see what I can remember. And this one was about Late Night with Conan O'Brien, a seminal piece of television that means a lot to me. And so I talked about the show and how it formed and all that, and the history of Letterman and Leno and all that leading to Conan having the show. So that's Do You Remembaer? You should check that out. I'm going to drink a little water because I am parched. And then we're going to talk about some manga. And then we're going to talk about some anime. So we'll get manga ready here because it is Manga Monday. So we got to talk about manga. And then we'll also talk about anime after that because that's what I do in the second hour of every stream. But first, we're going to dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. All right. Let's talk about some manga while I finish this model kit. Oh, also, let's just quickly check this. Sorry. Okay. We're going to talk about the manga. My companion is the strongest undead in another world. So, we have seen this before here and there in the wonderful world of isekai, the different world genre. Let's explore the idea of, hey, what if it sucks to be summoned to another world? What if you are one of many people in a group summon? Oops, this is the gray. I needed the black. I put the wrong marker on here. Oops. You can see this would have been a lot more subtle if I had just used the gray, but I am not. Just clean that up and then go with the black over there. The not so subtle black. So yeah, our main character gets summoned, and turns out his ability is strong regenerative. He can heal himself. Doesn't look like he can really die, which is cool. That's a cool thing to have on the, you grow him strong and train him up and give him harsh training, right? No, what if you just locked him in a basement and did a lot of experiments on him? Because summons are tools for the church, because it's an anime and the church is evil. It's a fantasy church and it's evil. Because of course it is. Anyway, so yeah. So it sucks. Eventually, our dude, hey, maybe his powers aren't necessarily, they are regenerative, but maybe they're not exactly what they think they are. And maybe his powers are actually much bigger and cooler. Right? because he finds somebody else who's been locked up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll help you." And that is a ancient vampire, one of the original vampires, and she's just like, "Well, I'll probably need some of like your life force." He's just like, "Yeah, I have plenty of it, but you should go ahead and escape." And she's just like, "Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is help you. I think you're neat. I know a lot about this world, and I can protect you. So come with me." And of course, they get chased by members of the church. They also, unfortunately, get chased by some other humans that he met that he doesn't have a strong attachment to, but they also got summoned with him. And of course, they think that he's been brainwashed by the vampire because they don't know that things are getting bad. There are also people in the church that are definitely evil, but not the same evil. They're like a different evil. There's a lich that shows up, and we'll probably deal with that more. It looks like there will be a companion who is an undead that they saved. There's a lot going on. It's a whole thing. There's just like a lot happening in this show. And also you get this like kind of cool friendship between this ancient vampire and this human from another world, like trying to figure out how to be on the same page. And it's not, it ain't bad. It's a pretty fucking solid show. So yeah, I would say you can track this down if you're looking for My Companion is the Strongest Undead in Another World. It's pretty damn good. I am enjoying it. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? I can tell you about Reincarnation. Reincarnation is a manhwa. So that is a Korean comic. And it is not a time travel. I'm starting my life over, and this time I have all this information, so I'm going to make things work this time, which is very popular right now in the in the manhwa. No, this is it wasn't the hero. He was the other guy in the hero's party, because there was like the brave warrior and the hero, the possibly talented hero, and the mage and the healer, and then the other guy who was like, he wasn't the comic relief, but he was the guy that had foibles and sometimes things didn't go well for him. And he was human, but he was also like the conscience of the group because he had struggled and gotten his powers up. And it was basically a one-sided rivalry where he was like, someday I'm going to be stronger than the hero. Well, they're trying to wipe out the Demon Kings, and he dies on the way while they're fighting them. And the story is what happens when he reincarnates as a descendant of the hero. The hero has apparently had multiple wives, and of course, children of the first wife are the direct family descendants. But he's one of the other wives, like along the line. So he has a huge advantage. He has the knowledge of training. He knows how to use all these tools to his disposal. He knows how to make all training make sense and get mana and do all this shit. He can do all that stuff. And also, he has an incredibly strong body. He's just like, with the blood of the hero, he can now, he's just like, my stamina is off the charts. My strength is immediately good. I'm so psyched that I can just train like this and get stronger and not worry about anything, which is fun. It is fun that he is just like psyched to get stronger. Now, this isn't just about him getting stronger. Part of it is certainly about him getting stronger. But it's also about him kind of sticking it to the hero. Because, in the back of his mind, as he's getting stronger and doing all these things and getting recognized for his strengths and his incredible talent and all that other stuff, he's also, trying to find out why he was betrayed. And he was betrayed because the heroes didn't defeat all of the demon lords and the demon kings or whatever. They made peace with them. And he's like, what the fuck happened? And it's been hundreds of years. So he's like, I don't know who to ask. I don't know who's going to tell me about this. But why the fuck are we, why are we at peace with that? Why is there what happened? And so he's going to try to figure that shit out. Also, the thing I don't like about this is there's a lot of chapters in this early on, and it's a manhwa, so it's going to go on for a very long time. But right now, they focused a lot on this, like, coming-of-age ceremony where the branch family and the main family, like, people of a certain age have to compete against one another, and he, like, blows them all out of the water because he has actual fighting skills and knows what he's doing because, he's cheating. Which is good, which is fun. And fine that's happening, but it is weird that they spend so much goddamn time on this. Okay, so how does this work? This has got to go. Sorry, this kind of explains how this works, but not really. So this goes here. View from behind. View from behind is like this, like this. Oh, this slides in here. Okay, I got it now. Sorry. These instructions are small, and so sometimes it is like a little confusing to see what they actually want me to do here. Oops. All right, so now we can attach the front of the bazooka and then the back of the bazooka. And then our bazooka is done. And we can put the bazooka on here. And the bazooka can also go, I guess the bazooka can also go on the back, but maybe we'll just see if the gun can go on the back. Because all we have left now is to build our gun. Which again is weird to say that we are building a gun. That eventually this body will also have a little Hello Kitty on. But yes, we gotta build our gun. Let's see. Okay. Clip that off. So yeah, damn Reincarnation. When it focuses on Kim fighting against other kids, even though he's a grown-ass man inside a kid's body, I don't love it. But the lore is interesting. I love the idea of the guy who sacrificed himself that's on the team, that was on the heroes party, reincarnating and being like, well, I'm gonna show up your descendants by using the blood of, I'm descendant of you, and I'm gonna use every advantage I have, which includes knowledge, to just show up your whole damn family. I think that is a fun premise for a series. I've liked it pretty well. Again, it's not my favorite thing that I've read, but it's not bad. And now let's talk about anime. It's time to talk about some anime. We will start with Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. This episode was heartwarming and lovely. It was we jumped to the fall. We've already done the student festival, the summer festival. Now it's time to do the sports festival. That's right. It's because it's a school year. We got to do the sports festival. Time for sports. There are a bunch of different events. We only see a couple of them. By the way, this is episode 10 because this show started late and then had 2 weeks off. So it is definitely behind. It'll be continuing into the next season, basically, pretty much. But this is episode 10. So the whole gang ends up in the mixed relay race. And then, you've got your athletic people in the front, which is good to have. And then you have your not athletic people. You have your main dude here, Izumi. And you have the girl who doesn't speak with much like vocal reflection, inflection, that often doesn't blink. Hachimitsu, she is the comic relief in many instances, the deadpan comic relief, but she is like, does not like exercising and moving around. And then Izumi can run, but also he is all the time he is likely to just fall. So they're not going to do great in this, but it's it's a relay. Basically, you get to see a lot from a character that didn't get to do much in the show, especially lately. She hasn't done much, so you get to see a lot from a very fun character. And her like actually get amped and get psyched about competing, and everyone like being psyched about that. Also, there's a very fun thing where her thing is the ball toss, and she is very bad at the ball toss. She's actually very good at the ball toss. She can throw the balls really well. It's just that her pacing is so slow that it doesn't work out. She doesn't win the event, which I thought was very silly. All right, let's take a photo of this. And now it's time to put this kit together the way we need to, which is we have to take this head off. While we take this head off, we are going to do... Oh, damn it. They don't... It's not easy to do that. God damn it. Oh, wait. Can I get this? Oh, wait. Because we have to modify this. If I take that piece off, will this work? Oh, it kind of works. It's not perfect, but it does fit on. It's not a snug fit like the RX-782 Hello Kitty set, but you can put the Zaku 2's head on Hello Kitty's body. So we have to take a photo of that because that's terrible and great. So we'll take a photo of that. All right, so now we have to do the rest of this. Hang on over here. We've got to modify the Hello Kitty head so that we can do this. So we got to take this off. Anyway, episode is really cute. This is very fun. I'm loving this show. It was nice to see the other characters and everyone work together. And then have like a cool ending where our characters all really shined. It was fun. And we're like, you get to see all of them just be like friends and do well together. And that's just nice. I don't know. It was a nice bit of business. Shikimori is not just a cutie, is a very adorable show. I love that the couple has been in a relationship this entire show. And you don't have to do the will they, won't they. You just see what it's like for them to be dating each other. And I think that is neat. All right, so what else we need to do here? We took the shoulder pieces off. And then we also have to take them apart. This is the left shoulder. And this is the right shoulder here. Take those off because we have to add in. I'm going to jump to the shoulder sections. We have different shoulder pieces that need to go on here. Mainly, I assume these are just different because the head is so much bigger that they just have to be slightly different. Because it has to, basically the different components have to extend, is my assumption. Anyway, so yeah, that episode is good. And then we're going to do our Missed It Monday. I'm going to talk to you about Birdie Wing, Golf Girl's Story. I have watched 3 episodes of this show. This show is the answer to the question, what if 1 ounce was really gay? It's a clearance issue. Now, if you're unfamiliar with 1 ounce, 1 ounce is a baseball anime. It is about a dude, an incredibly great pitcher, but he's not playing for any Major League Baseball teams. He plays underground baseball. And basically his thing is, can you hit my pitches? I have the best pitches in the world, and it's for betting and all that. he gets recruited onto a big team that like it's like the last year of their main dude, and the owner, it's very clear that the owner is trying for them to have a losing season so that he can sell the team. So he's trying to sabotage the team as they are trying to have a winning streak. And our dude disrupt those plans and also is going to make a killing by betting. And the whole season, the whole show is him like having this like cat and mouse game. Yeah, it's a bit of the major league trope. Yeah, it's cat and mouse game. It was never licensed in the United States on a streaming service. Madhouse made the anime, and it's good. It's a solid show. It had a very good fan sub, and I believe it eventually did come out on DVD and get a full release, but it was not part of. But it was not on a streaming service. That's the one outs. Birdie Wing is basically all the trick shot elements of that, but also a very like definitely queer storyline because it is about a young lady who is very good at hitting a golf ball. Not necessarily golf, but striking a golf ball in a very good way. And then her interactions with a very good golfer who is also probably even better than she's leading on. Major League and Bull Durham are very different. I mean, they're both baseball movies, but one is what happens when somebody who's like a lifer meets somebody who's on his way up in minor leagues, and there's also a lady. And Major League is a bunch of terrible baseball players come together, or like problematic baseball players come together to be very good at baseball and having fun along the way. Anyway, Birdie Wing, I don't think I'm going to keep watching. I know this is not your typical sports anime. I know that. I know that there's a lot going on here. There's more going on than I originally anticipated, and there's a lot to love about it. The main characters have not grabbed me. I think that it is skillfully directed. I think the art is really great. I think the effects are really well done of the golf swings and the golf balls and all that. But it just doesn't do it for me. It just hasn't hit me in a way that makes me think, I need to keep watching this. I need to see what happens to these characters. Maybe I didn't give it enough episodes, but also, no. The fact that it's very queer is great because this season there have been only a couple anime that have been gay, very, very gay. One of that I stopped watching that I will eventually probably continue. I think I'll probably be talking about it on Thursday. Because I think Thursday is going to be Dropout Thursday, where I catch up on the shows that I started watching this season and then dropped. It probably won't be a Dropout Thursday. It'll probably be just dropped Thursday, something to that effect. Second chances or something. But I'm gonna watch Executioner in a Way of Life, a couple more episodes of that, and I'm gonna watch a couple more episodes of Reincarnated as a Demon Lord Reincarnates as a Typical Nobody, or whatever that was called. Shows that I dropped. But anyway, I'm just not vibing with Birdie Wing the way I wish I did. I know that for some people it's their favorite show of the season, and I'm glad that they have a fucking favorite show of the season, and I hope they really enjoy it, and that it continues to kick ass for them, but it just didn't hit me. I want to love it. Yeah, I know. It's right. It's like, there are plenty of shows that I watch that people hear me talk about, and they're like, Pat, I have no idea why you were interested in this. Like, I can't tell you that you're going to love RPG Real Estate, but I thought it was cute, and I like the premise, and I also enjoy anime, the anime, subgenre of girls doing things. I like that, and this was the closest we had to that, which was girls doing real estate. But I'm always interested in giving those types of shows a chance. So, that's just me. And I'm not big on sports anime, and even though this one is atypical for a sports anime, it still didn't hit me. But I did want to give it a try. And, I'm glad I did watch a couple episodes. But, yeah, it just didn't hit me. It just wasn't doing it for me. But I liked it well enough. I just don't think I would continue to watch it. And that's it. I don't know what show I didn't watch. I'm gonna take a look at for next week. But like I said, there are a few shows that are starting this weekend, and I will be watching some of those. I'll be watching not all of them. Like I said, if I go to Annie chart, let's see. Oh, that's not giving me what I want. I need summer. Yeah, Rent-A-Girlfriend season 2. Not going to be watching Rent-A-Girlfriend season 2. That's not a show that I have any interest in checking out because I didn't watch the first season. Phantom of the Idol. Right now I don't know who's it. I don't think. Oh, High Dive picked that up, huh? Idol shows I don't particularly enjoy, but it is a comedy and a supernatural comedy somehow. But I'm probably not gonna check that out. But Teppen with a bunch of exclamation points, laughing till you cry. I will definitely be watching that because that is a slice of life about girls who want to get good at comedy. And that sounds fucking great. That's exactly the kind of show I want to watch. And that's coming out in 4 days and change. So, that's coming up. I'm going to check that out. Leco Reco is not something I want to check out. It's just a cafe, but also... Oh, no, okay. Crunchyroll has it. Okay. But yeah, that doesn't seem like something I will be checking out. Also, someday I'll actually go back and watch early versions of Utawara Rumono because I know I watched a season of that, but I feel like there have been 6 different versions of it, and I don't know if any of them are remakes or if they're just continuations. I don't know why Crunchyroll has it, because they don't have the old stuff, so what audience are they getting? Also, maybe I'll watch that Ruby anime, because I've never watched Ruby before, but now it's finally an actual anime made by an anime, a studio, so maybe I'll watch Ruby. I probably won't watch Ruby, but maybe I will someday. Someday I'll watch Ruby. Hey, Hello Kitty's done. Now our Hello Kitty is Char Zaku too. And for this, we're going to take a photo with holding the bazooka because I think that's... Oh, can we hold the bazooka with this head? Oh, no, this head will not fit the bazooka. Okay, so we'll just do the axe. I saw the first few seasons, not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I just never... I'm not a Rooster Teeth person. They never connected with me. I just never watched any of their stuff. So it never interested me to watch that. And I didn't necessarily, it didn't appeal to me. Just took a list and I'm taking a break until Spy Family and Chainsaw Man air. Yeah, Lastberg, I mean, fall, the summer season might be the season where you go back to stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be watching. You'll also hear from me. There's some damn good isekai coming out that I'm looking forward to. Oh God, the Isekai Uncle anime is going to be so good and sad. The premise is this dude has been in a coma the entire time he was in another world. And then he wakes up from the coma and he's like, so how's Sega doing? Because he was a Sega fanboy. And he missed out when they didn't, they're not making consoles anymore. So it's him trying to get reacquainted with life and then telling his nephew about the other world that he was in, where he did not have a good time. He was considered very ugly, and people kept thinking he was a monster. And he was strong. He just wasn't well liked, and he did not have a great time. And it's like sad recollections of what happened to him, and it's fucking good. It's a good series. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it a lot. So that's one that I'm like, okay. I'm excited to check out that. Overlord is coming back. I won't talk about it weekly because I'll probably wait for a bunch of episodes to come out because I'm not super into Devil as a part-timer. But I appreciate Devil as a part-timer as a concept. It doesn't really do anything for me, so I probably won't watch it week to week. But like, I'm glad it's getting a second season because that's weird. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that is coming out that I'm like pretty gung-ho about. I gotta take a photo of our kitty here, and then we'll get some Lego stuff together. Oh, that is shining right there. So I think I have to have this standing up. All the other photos of this I had standing up. So, but our Hello Kitty Char Zaku 2 is done. We'll just have it with the axe because that's fun. And then maybe I'll do this too. Yeah, this doesn't work as well as the other one, but it is very funny. It was a bummer to read and I dropped it. I hear you, Dirty. It is, yeah. That happens. But there is a bunch of stuff coming out that I'm excited about. That is just like looking good. Like I said, show about girls in comedy. Excited about that. There's the night one that seems good. My isekai life is very typical overpowered main character, except he is underestimated, and that is fun. And he also does not seem to realize how overpowered he is. And he's kind of a goof, and I like that. Let's see. So I can't tell if this is a remake or a continuation or a new thing, but Tokyo Mew Mew Mew. Oh, sorry. Tokyo Mew Mew New is coming out. So is new means that it is like it's like the new version of it? Is it like a remake of it? I need more information about Tokyo Mew Mew New. Because, I would love to get into a shoujo. A magical girl thing. That'd be good. Uncle from Another World. Excited about that. Let's see. And then... one isekai I won't be watching is Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. Because that's basic... That's just porn. And it won't be because it's going to be an anime. So they're just going to cut out all of the stuff that would be the thing you would go to for it. Because the parts that aren't the fact that he has slaves that he sleeps with are run of the mill and not that interesting. So why even make it? Call of the Night seems kind of cool. I've never read the manga, but I've heard very good things about it. It's like a weird slice of life about a guy and a vampire. Because he can't sleep at night and he starts wandering the streets and he ends up making friends with a vampire. And I'm into that. Black Summoner, that's the one. That's the isekai that I think is going to be cool. Oh, and then also isekai Yakyoku. I don't know who's picking. Somebody's got to pick this up. It's an isekai, but he's a doctor. He's a pharmacist. Yes, I saw that on the list and confused why. Yeah, why are they making that harem one? Hentai light. Yeah. Black Summoner is a great manga. I'm excited for that. So I am excited for that adaptation. All right, so we have some time left in the stream here, so let's get, we're just going to get this Lego together here. I got to delete this. Great. So we can get our Lego assembled here. We'll need, got our brick separator. and our only 2 decals on this, so but we can start getting this like somewhat situated here. But the doctor one, the pharmacist one, isekai is, a guy gets reborn in another world, and he has his knowledge of being a pharmacist and a doctor, and then also magical abilities, because he's an overpowered main character. So he combines the two to save people, and sometimes it doesn't go great, and he has to fucking get his hands dirty a little bit. But it's a really good manga, and the isekais this season, other than Harem, are all either interesting or very good, or like I don't know how many people are gonna watch the one, the very basic one about the monster tamer, but like it's a fun premise that everyone just thinks that he's not that strong because tamers aren't that strong, but he ends up with a bunch of slimes that learn magic, absorb magic abilities, and so he can use their magic. So he's just like, oh yeah, and he kind of downplays it, but also he doesn't quite understand just how special he is. And I just think that's a fun premise. There's also Proud Wolf, his wolf familiar, who is a complete and utter scaredy cat, and a lot of times is drawn very like Looney Tunes style, which is pretty unique in manga. And I don't know if he's going to be, rendered like that in the anime, but he's got a lot of like Looney Tunes wolf energy, and I just think that's fun. But yeah, he's a big scaredy cat. And then there's also a cool rhino, an ancient rhino. But I don't even know if we'll get to ancient rhino in the anime adaptation. But there's some good stuff. I've got some time left in the stream to tell you about. Hey, it's time to talk about it. Let's get into it. What's up? I have watched some Summer Games Done Quick. Now, started yesterday. I have not watched anything live. I have not had the time. But today, while I was doing other things, I watched some runs. All of the runs I'll be telling you about here are all available on their YouTube, the GDQ YouTube channel. So you can watch that. That's how I watch them. But I'll just give you the brief overview of some of these. I should say, this year it is in person. They are back to doing in-person events. Everyone is masked up and they are social distancing. In fact, the couch is actually 2 love seats, socially distant. And yeah, even the runner is masked. We'll get to that in a little bit. One thing that happened with that. But everybody's masked. It seems like people are doing the right thing. Of course, in their downtime, who knows if everyone's being responsible, but it seems like they are, which is nice. Let's see. But I did like that they had lounge chairs, not love seats, lounge chairs, I should say. That the 2 people are separated, the couch, which is nice. WarioWare touched in 31 minutes and 31 seconds from Mr. Shasta. It's just fun to watch someone who has memorized how to beat every single one of the mini games, because that's already a very fast game. The idea of playing through WarioWare in 31 minutes doesn't feel particularly that fast just when you think about WarioWare. It's just funny to think about somebody doing that on purpose that fast. That's just funny to me. Did he have to take his mask off? Yes, because there are sections where he had to blow into the microphone because it's WarioWare touched. So he did have to take his mask off, and apparently did ask for permission or to check in with tech. But that's why it's good to be socially distanced. And also, that was his controller. So there you go. But that was a weird thing. Mr. Shasta also ran Kirby in the Forgotten Land in 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 21 seconds. One, you get to watch Kirby. You get to watch a very good Kirby game, and somebody who knows what they're doing play that. That's just fun to watch. That was great having on while I did other things. And 2, one thing you get to check out with that is, hey, the two people on the couch and the person playing just really love Kirby and really love that game. Sometimes when you watch runners, you get the thing of like, you get to hear them like talk about how ways that the game is broken or ways the game is frustrating, and they're speaking as a runner, right? This game is not that old yet. I am sure that next year or the next time it is run at a GDQ, they will have shaved a lot of time down. But right now it is in the period where it is just a pleasant game for them to play and talk about. And so you just get to hear them play and talk about a game that they really like. And it's very nice. It's just pleasant to hear them chat about. So I really recommend that. Again, it is almost a 2-hour stream video, so you can just kind of chill and relax and then check in as you hear good Kirby sounds. But again, they're just having a ball, like playing and watching it. And that's fun. And then Mass Effect by Mike Wave in 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 2 seconds. So this one, I should warn you, if you're going to watch this one, the way that they have figured out how to skip through dialogue, there is a feedback sound. I can't quite describe the sound, but it's a weird audio like beep or hum that just happens because of the way that they are breaking the game. And that's not awesome. So if that, like, when you start watching it, when you get to the dialogues, or like the first dialogue, and you hear it, it's very early into it. Oops, dropped a piece. You will know pretty much right away if you are like, oh, I do not want to hear this noise, or, that's fine. But that might be a deal breaker for you. It wasn't for me, but I was getting tired of the noise. This is another good example of like, I get this way sometimes with some speed runs where I'm like, I could probably figure out how to do that. Like this like whole like weapon swapping thing. Like I could probably figure out how to do that. There's no way I can fucking do that. There's no way I'm going to get that. I'm going to nail that. Like it is very silly of me to think that I could ever figure that out reliably. But they make you think you can. So I'd recommend that. Has anyone watched any Summer Games Done Quick? And if you have, is there anything you recommend? Maybe you watched something live and it hasn't been archived yet, or you've been checking out the YouTube. Let me know. And then while you're letting me know about that, if you're playing anything, if you're watching anything, that seems like something that should prompt them to turn down whatever audio is tied to. Yeah, I mean, they had the audio pretty low, but yes, you're right. But yeah, if you've been watching anything, playing anything, enjoying anything, Lashbrick's trying to catch up on Nextlander stuff. I hear you. But yeah, if you've been, checking anything out and you want to talk about it, let me know. Yesterday, I caught up, of course, watched Shikimori's Not a Cutie yesterday, and then also mostly just hung out. Watched a lot of wrestling last night because between the pre-show and all that, it's just like a lot of fucking wrestling. Like a lot of wrestling. I mean, it was great to watch, but it was a lot of wrestling. So I did that, and then didn't really do much else. Let's see. John. Hey, John. I'm just ready for Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2. Hell yeah. I'm about to start watching the Dark Tournament and Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh yeah, you're getting to the Dark Tournament. Hell yeah. Going to see some fun characters. Lord Crashington. Some real good characters that some poorly written characters, but there's some really good sporting characters in that show that I remember fondly. You're in the middle of watching RRR since it's so awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, like right now I'm just planning some anime stuff to check out. Gonna check out some stuff for Thursday that I had watched in the past and gave up. So that's Executioner and A Way of Life, and Demon Lord Reborn is a typical nobody. I'll probably finish both those series and or if maybe I'll give up again, but I'll at least start both those and try to wrap them up. I think that's going to be Thursday. Thursday's going to just be like the shows that I dropped, and then Saturday will be like new stuff, and either Saturday will be Shikimori's Not a Cutie because it's technically a Saturday show, Saturday show. I just moved it to talking about on Mondays, and then Monday will be me picking up some shows. I'm probably going to try to watch that like your boy Koming, the Chinese strategist who gets sent into the future and then becomes like a manager of an idol. I like kind of want to try that just because the opening song is so catchy. I didn't watch any GDQ, but I did go to the office for the first time in 2.5 years today. Walking a block in 100+ weather had me using my old man rag. Sometimes you gotta dirty. Sometimes you just are just fucking sweating and you gotta take care of business. There was not a great bit in Yu Yu Hakusho where Yusuke fights a girl that's not physically a girl by grabbing them across. Yes, Lord Crashington. That is both. If you were charitable, you could say that him saying just live how you want to live and be the person you're supposed to be is awesome for the time period that it came out. From the part where that anime episode came out, that's fucking comparatively progressive. But the part where he like figures it out by going after her genitals is bad. It's bad. So that's not good. Yes, that is when people talk about going and checking out that series, that is a thing that folks mention of like, hey, so this is a thing that's in that show. Just be aware of it because by today's standards, it's like could be a deal breaker. And at the time, wasn't great, but as I said, comparatively, kind of not the worst. Yes. It did age poorly, and Kuwabara would be the character that would react the worst about it, of course, and he does not act well, and it does suck. And like, if there was a reboot of the series, that would most likely just not be there or be very different. And of course, then there'd be some people that would be mad about that, because of course they would be. I'm just getting this ready right now. We're not just going to get into any Lego building here. I have just gotten a lot of stuff set up for Thursday when I work on this, which is good. I'm just doing some knolling. I'm like putting the pieces together here so that when I look for this piece, it'll be easy to find. Wednesday, supposedly my new table is coming in on Wednesday, so Thursday's stream will hopefully not have any shake. The table won't be shaking because it will be a square table that is sturdy. And then if there is an issue with that table, I will just put this monitor stand on another table so that the table that I'm building on will not have a huge amount of weight on it. And that unfortunately might have to be the actual solution to my issues with the fact that this table just can't handle all of the weight of my monitors, because the solution is not to remove my third monitor. That is not a solution. Instead, we're going to work on that. Having this smaller table will be actually fucking great because this table is too long and I don't use it. It just blocks a bunch of things and gets in the way. And so having the small table will open up the space some without really reducing any problems. Causing any problems. And it won't reduce any workflow. So I am excited about that. That'll come on Wednesday, and I don't think I will do anything with it on Wednesday. I'll probably just do it on Thursday. I might, because I don't have to worry about like getting the camera perfect, because it just has to be this camera. Because Wednesday is me talking about anime, so that'll actually be fine. All right, so I have gotten all this knolled, and then I can ruin my hard work by shoving it all out of my way. But we'll come back to this on Thursday for Lego. We did not get to Lego tonight, but that's okay. Let's see. And just sorry, I'm gonna grab that. Okay. Those are some big eyes. Yes, this owl has very big eyes because it is an owl. Gotta have those big eyes. All right, so we wrapped up the stream. I want to thank everybody for spending some time with me tonight. If you came in from the raid and you hung out, thank you so much. If you're here all the time, of course, thank you so much for supporting me. We are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream here. I also hope the head spins on this owl. I think that would be a cool addition. As John says, we always end with a raid. Yes, we do. So we're going to go find somebody doing cool shit and go hang out with them. Reminder again, Pat Bear's Anime Club is this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Please come check it out as I talk about all of the shows, what I was watching, what I skipped, all of that shit coming out again this Wednesday, and then previewing the next season, the many cool things the next season. Who's doing stuff we want to go raid, who is hanging out, and we want to go give them some love. Well, let's go hang out with Mary Kish. We often raid Mary Kish on Mondays. Mary is playing Neon White, and that's just going to be a cool stream to go raid because Mary rules. And also, I know that Mary's community is awesome, which is always nice. So we're going to go raid Mary, so feel free to come along on this raid. This Thursday, we will begin the Lego set finally. Thanks for everybody for being here. I hope you have a great night. Come along on this raid. You're going to love Mary playing this game and swearing when she doesn't do great and cheering when she does well. And her chat is awesome. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And let's go on this raid. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.